Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This Talk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It's Thursday, Hall of Fame game day. It's NFL season is officially here. We got a jam-packed show. We are going to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame game. I'll be honest. As I got assigned to talk about the Hall of Fame game, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? So then I started looking at props. I found one I love. Dan, I found a Hall of Fame game prop that I absolutely love. We'll go over that. We're going to talk a little UFC. We're going to talk some CFL. Nick Parsons is going to be here. He's going to talk CFL, but he's also going to talk some college football sleepers. And we got Dave Mason joining us. We're always going to start with Gianni with the Steam Report. Then we'll get to Dave Mason, Nick Parsons, and Kyle Anthony is going to join us. And, of course, we got all around the world. Thank you so much for joining today. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Our next goal, 230,000 subscribers. Let's get it started with Gianni and the Steam Report. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not a super busy day, Gianni. Not a whole lot of games going on. What are we seeing with the Steam Report today?
No, and really quickly, there's a 4% free play up. I just released it in tennis. It's a plus 155 dog. Just sent out to subscribers and also released it for free since there's a small board today. If you agree, fire. You got about 30 minutes till that matchup starts. Head on over to WagerTalk.com for that free 4% best bet. Now, it has been pretty busy, believe it or not, even though there's only 3 games in Major League Baseball. But please let me make this distinction. I hope this gets cut and put on Instagram as well with the Wager Talk stuff. The Steam that I'm releasing every morning, okay, it's early. It's 9 a.m. here on the West Coast. Rarely do I release premium plays that early unless I already have multiple confirmations, because there's a lot going on from overnights that I'm sharing and some of the early stuff. Now, you got to keep in mind, limits are lower during overnights. So there's a lot of manipulation going on. From a lot of these betting syndicates. I don't urge anyone to blindly piggyback the Steam moves that I release in the mornings. In fact, I'm not doing it. I urge you to handicap the board, write down your sides and totals that you like, and then check and see if there's been sharp money on or against it early, and then follow the line throughout the day and see whether that matchup did get manipulated. Is there a middle or scalp attempt? Like, do a little of your own work. Don't just blindly piggyback and throw up your hard-earned money because there's a Steam play. You got to remember, there's a lot going on in the betting market. And these betting syndicates make their money from volume and being able to get out ahead of markets and betting from position of strengths where they can then come back and bet the other side a lot of times. So again, I share a lot of this information, but I don't want to see bettors use it incorrectly. So here's what we got so far in Major League Baseball. 901 Tampa Bay and the under at 9 up to minus 130. See, right now it's 8.5. So if this game ends 5-4, it would be like, oh, the Steam play lost, but it didn't. They pushed. Keep in mind the lines that I am using. Again, if they're not betting it at minus 110 when they took plus 110, there's probably a reason. At minus 110, there's probably no more positive EV remaining. That's the key. Finally, 904 Cincinnati up to minus 165 and 906 Seattle up to minus 160. Now, I know there's a Hall of Fame game tonight. I have a 2-pack up, 2 4% best bets, only because preseason, historically, the betting syndicates have done a lot of damage. They're selective. They usually get out ahead of the market, get a lot of respect. And when the dust settles, they find themselves profitable in the preseason. So I'm not afraid to fire. Here's what I can share with you, because the people that paid for it, I don't want to disrespect them and just give out the information. But here's what we know. We know that when it comes to Detroit, they got a new offensive and defensive coordinator. So they have a lot to work on there. Historically, Campbell hasn't really cared. He sat his starters, and he's usually looking at what rookies he's going to keep and going through the motions in preseason. But with that said, with the new offensive defensive coordinators, they need to go out there and implement their game plan. I think that's why we're seeing over money from the sharp bettors, and this total is creeping higher. There's also that battle for the second spot at quarterback in Detroit between Allen and Hooker. So there's a little competition that Detroit is trying to, pick that number 2. And of course, they have that new offensive line that they have to work out. On the flip side, you got the Chargers. Abear's their guy, so it's Henke and Lance coming in after that. The offensive line is set, but they're saying now with the center, there's a little bit of competition there, and they're really excited about that rookie wide receiver, Smith. Najee Smith is out. Najee Harris is out. They're not sure he's even going to be back for the preseason. So they're going to be looking at running the football, seeing what backs they have for Najee Harris. Keep that in mind. So with that said, we have seen some sharp money come in on the over. That's why you're looking at 34, where historically this game, first game of the preseason, has been bet under. So that's a difference that we're seeing with this first game of the season. Historically, this total is usually dropped. It usually starts around 35. It goes off at like 31 and a half, 32. This year, a little bit of the opposite. Open 32, up to 34s right now with the over favorite at the sharper outs.
Are you seeing, I'm sure the public is doing this, but is the big money, are we just in blindly fade the Atlanta Braves? You mentioned that the money's come in on the Reds. I mean, this poor Braves team. By the way, how would you like to have paid to go to the game yesterday? 1-0 in 10 innings. You get to sat through 9.5 innings of absolutely no runs scored, and then 1 run in the bottom of the 10th seals it. But again, the Braves can't get anything going. Is this just you're blindly fading the Atlanta Braves until they get something good going?
That's what it looks like. Plus, with a decent starter for Cincinnati. I mean, look over his last 5 starts. He's got less than a 3 ERA. He only gave up 1 earned run in 2 of his last 3 starts, throwing about 95 pitches as well. I think it's a fade on Atlanta, and even a bet on with Cincinnati at home. They played a lot better at home. They're about a 500 team, but they're 7 games above 500 at home. So I like those splits, and I think that's what you're seeing, getting out, fading Atlanta, and a bet on Cincinnati. I think the public's going to bet it as well, so that line will probably keep climbing. I'll be interested to see if there's any take back, like as this keeps going. Will there be some resistance? Because so far it's just been one-way action going up.
Boy, you got to have some plums to bet on the Braves.
Yeah, you do.
At this point,
that's what I mean. Like yesterday, that was a steam move. I didn't touch. You know that the only baseball I released yesterday was the free play, which was a 3% play on the runs, hits, and errors. That was it, and that's why this week 8, 2, and 1 only released 11 premium plays, staying very selective. But again, if I don't have a strong lean on that steam move, I'm not going to bet it. I'm going to move it for these guys because I take a percentage, and long term I make money with them. But I'm not going to put out more of my risk, my capital, or urge my subscribers to without having a strong lean in that position. Remember, man, as a bettor, one of our biggest assets that we don't use enough is our ability to pass. Like the bookmakers, they have to put a line up for everything, or else you're going to go across the street and bet it. So competition forces them to put out a number for everything they possibly could find, any kind of matchup. But we as bettors have the ability to just sit back and wait for the very best, most advantageous positions to put our capital down. Like, you have to really take that seriously. If you're doing this for profit, if you're doing it for entertainment and action, have at it. You know what I mean? You know what you're willing to risk and have fun with it. But if you're truly doing this for profit, then use that. That's one of those tools on our tool belt that I think enough bettors just don't use enough. Like yesterday, there was a whole board of baseball. Wednesday, huge board. I have steam moves in front of me. I deal with 3 different baseball groups right now. I didn't confirm a single move for my subscribers or bet on top for myself because I just didn't feel strongly enough. Again, your business is your capital as a sports bettor. And if you treat it like a business, it'll pay like a business. You treat it like entertainment, it's going to cost you like entertainment. So remember that. Your capital is your business. Protect it at all costs. You don't have to bet because tonight's the Hall of Fame game because it's the first preseason game. If you don't really like something, if you don't feel you have an edge, wait. There will be a better opportunity for you to get your money down. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Bill. Says, Andy, if you remember, I had a bad couple weeks, but this week 9-3 since Monday, 4-0 on Wednesday. Yes, Bill, absolutely. I remember. Gianni had a rough couple weeks. I've had a miserable 3 months. We had a bad week last week, but listen, Gianni, sometimes I just need to get my energy and my positivity up. I actually went and I had a Reiki session the other night. I needed to get my chakras on point, and we won 3 in a row since then. Do whatever it takes to turn the tide. So shout out to you, Bill. I'm glad to see that. And yes, we can talk about our wins. We can talk about our losses on this show. So congratulations to you on that one. Gianni, you got Steam Room this weekend, correct?
Oh yeah. That's tomorrow. In fact, I've been knocking it out because it's summer. It's a little slower on Friday, so I don't keep the guys there. But with preseason starting and NFL and college football regular season is just around the corner, I wanted to have it on Saturday, especially since there's a UFC card tomorrow. We could go over to MMA. We could talk about the NFL and college football, how I'm setting up the preseason, futures, season win totals, and obviously regular season. I'll be doing a bet on it this year, so I'm really excited for that. I've been digging in every single day, and it makes me a better bettor having to prepare for those shows. I look back historically, I've always done so much better in college football and NFL because I'm forced to have to really prepare, and I love that. So we'll be in the Steam Room talking football, MMA, and of course there'll be Major League Baseball tomorrow and any of the tennis that comes in. I've had F1 matchups come in that are very time sensitive. Like there'll be a lot of information that'll be coming in because it's Saturday. We'll be able to bet live. So make sure you join me for that. It's 10 Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And any questions, bring them there. I'm there. I work for you. Anyone that's a subscriber, long-term subscribers, you get 4 of those a month at minimum. And yeah, I love doing them.
Awesome. What do you have up for clients today on Thursday?
Yeah. NFL 2-pack for tonight in the Hall of Fame game, 4% side, 4% total. I have my NFL college football futures pass with season win totals. Yes or no, will a team make the playoffs? And also 5% in there. The MMA package for tomorrow, UFC card, 4% best bet already. And I don't think I'll have baseball today. Don't really have any strong leans. So it's all going to be about football and getting ready for a big weekend ahead.
All right, great stuff, Gianni. Looking forward to a big weekend, and football season is officially here. Yeah, best of luck to you too on this Thursday. So, all right, guys, we have a cricket play that is up. This is the only play that we have this week. Probably going to be the only one. It goes off a little bit later today, 5 o'clock Eastern. I would highly recommend getting cricket plays. We don't have very many of them. When we have them, they're really good. We're 61% lifetime. The cricket department has been doing fantastic work. I believe we're on a 24-13 short-term run, and yeah, hitting 61% of these. He has been absolutely lights out. So there's a cricket play that is up, wt.buzz/AL. These are available on everybody's off screen, and number is still absolutely 100% playable. This line makes no sense, and we're going to take advantage of it. So cricket this afternoon, go grab that, wt.buzz/AL. All right, let's do all around the world. We do have some plays that we can get to here. We're going to go to MLB first. This is a play from the WagerTalk free picks page. Looking at the Rangers and the Mariners, Drew Martin does like Mariners. Kirby for the Mariners has only allowed 6 hits and 2 runs in 13 innings against the Rangers. And we got the rocker going for the Rangers, +5 ERA this season. And as Drew points out, it's Harry Potter night. I don't know what that means in the handicapping, but it is Harry Potter night. So shout out to that. Wyndham Championship. Take a look at Jake Knapp, under 67.5 round 1 score. This is for everyone that's watching live. Jake Knapp, under 67.5 round 1. Conditions are perfect. I've been watching it all morning. Guys are flying under soft greens. There's no wind. And Jake Knapp has shot 64 in the first round of his last 2 tournaments. And then we'll go to PFL. There's an underdog we like. Frederick Dupras, +124 over Nathan Kelly. Nathan Kelly trains in this terrible gym in Ireland. They have no training for wrestling. grappling submissions at this level. He's been submitted in his last 2 fights. And Dupross is a grappler and submission specialist. He had to fight Gabriel Braga at short notice last time out, and he almost got the submission, but he gassed out and got finished. But this is his comeback fight, and they're giving him a dream matchup. So Frederick Dupross, you can get that at plus 124 over Nathan Kelly. Let's bring in Nick. Let's talk a little college football and some CFL. Nick, I saw you were getting that stretching in, ready for your segment. So
ready to go, buddy.
Now that you're all stretched out, let's talk about college football. You got 3 teams, could be some sleeper teams. Who are you looking at for this season?
Yeah, I mean, just as far as a few sleeper teams that have the potential to make the college football playoff, I think one is the Boise State Broncos. You know, they're coming off a 12-2 season. They returned their starting quarterback, Maddox Madsen. He had 2,861 passing yards and 22 touchdowns. They also generated 55 sacks on the defensive end. They have a consistent coaching staff moving into this year. So I think that they are a team to look out for this year. And then also the Navy Midshipmen. They were 10-3 last year. They had a Armed Forces Bowl win. Their Heisman candidate quarterback, Blake Horvath, he's back. He had 30 total touchdowns last year. They averaged 31.3 points per game. And their defense only allowed 22.2 points per game. So, yeah, I also think the Navy Midshipmen could possibly make some noise before the end of the year. And then this is definitely a bit of a dark horse, but perhaps the James Madison Dukes. They were 9-3 last year. They have a dual threat quarterback in Alonzo Barnett. He had 26 passing touchdowns and just 4 interceptions. They also have a coaching staff that returns to keep the continuity going. And so perhaps they can repeat what Arizona State did in 2024 with a big surprise as well.
Nice. You got Navy and James Madison. I like those. Those are some sexy, juicy underdogs. I like those a lot. Let's move to CFL real quick, and we're going to talk to Alouettes going up against Saskatchewan. It's a Nick Parsons special. Ain't no way you're coming on and laying points. You So I don't even know what your pick is, but I'm guessing if there's points involved, you're taking those points.
Yeah, you guessed right there, Andy. I mean, we won with the underdog last week. We've done really good with the underdogs this year. But yeah, this is a game where I sort of see whichever team has its hands on the ball last is going to win. And so in a situation like that, I definitely want to grab the points. This won't be easy. The Roughriders, they're 6-1, but they're off that tighter than expected win over Edmonton last week. And so I gave out the Elks on this show, and they went on to post that solid backdoor cover. For Montreal, it did win its first 3 games, and then it dropped 2 straight, but it's now won 2 in a row. And that includes a 23-21 win at Calgary last weekend. And so I had the Alouettes in that one as well. Their second string quarterback, McLeod Bethel Thompson, he looked really great under center, and I think he's going to be able to match whatever Riders quarterback Trevor Harris does this weekend. The Riders defense has looked much better at home than on the road as well. One other factor that I also take into account always is scheduling. And so I think that this one sets up better for the home side as far as scheduling, because the Alouettes play here next weekend against Edmonton, but Saskatchewan could possibly get caught looking ahead to its bye week in week 10. And so it sort of sets up as a trap game after the extended win streaks at home, now hitting the road back east with a bye week next week. It's a bit of a trap, I think, but not so much for Montreal. I think that they have a possibility to win it outright here, Andy, but my official call will be to grab as many points as he can.
Nice. I know you've been doing well in CFL. You're pretty low volume, but listen, that's right up my alley. I love it. Looking for quality over quantity, especially in sports like CFL. What's been the secret? Is it totals? Is it spreads? Is it underdogs, points? What's been your specialty this year?
No, I've been playing both and just sort of sticking to my systems and sticking to what has made me successful over the past 2 decades. And so just sort of taking it week by week and just not forcing anything and just looking for really great situations.
Great stuff, Nick. What do you guys have going on over at Sports Memo? I know you got specials and content, all kinds of great things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Sports Memo, it's changed a lot. There's a lot of new faces over there, guys, if you haven't been over there in a while. And they do have some summer specials running this summer. One of the main ones is called Flex Picks, and that's a popular one that Andy's talked about in the past. They have that running over at WagerTalk. A Flex Picks pass allows you to choose any handicapper you want for the day, and you don't need to use it consecutive days in a row. It's a really flexible option. Also, $5 Wednesdays, Andy. Every Wednesday throughout the summer, they have a $5 Wednesday where every handicapper releases one $5 package. Lots of 4% and 5% packages go up on that day. And then also tomorrow, 50% off Fridays. Same thing as Wednesdays. Every capper releases one 50% off package.
All right. What do you have up personally? What do you have going on?
Well, we were talking college football there, guys. And if you head on over to Sports Memo and you dive into the leaderboards a little bit, you'll see that I am the #1 college football handicapper since 2023. And I have a bunch of football picks already up for week 0, guys. And so, yeah, go check that out.
Love it. Love it. Nick Parsons doing great work over at Sports Memo. Thank you so much. Continued success, and love it. Love it when he comes on because you know you're always getting points. Justin says, LOL, the cricket department. Yeah, listen, hey, Dan is the lacrosse department. We have a tennis department. We have a PFL department, and we have a cricket department. So that's what we call all of the different handicappers as part of our team. So yeah, we like to listen. We're well buttoned. We're well buttoned up. This is a very tight organization that we're running over here. So all the departments are locked and loaded. And yes, the cricket department has been on fire. So shout out to the cricket department. All right, let's bring in Kyle Anthony. Let's start talking some UFC. And let's start with Zaleski and Magny. They finally stopped giving Neil Magny these young absolute killers. I think 3 of his last 4 fights have been like legit title contenders.
Yeah.
And so they were like, all right, you're not fighting young athletic killers. Here's a fellow old guy that you can fight in Zaleski. So break it down here. Zaleski and Magny, we got Zaleski is a pretty big favorite here. What's your breakdown on this one?
Yeah, so you got Dos Santos here. He's about -195. And the comeback, we've got Neil Magny. He's +165. Now, this is definitely a battle for the ages. And when I say that, I mean both these guys are getting old. You got a 38-year-old Dos Santos. You've got a 37-year-old Neil Magny here. And both of these guys are coming off knockout losses. Now, you look at Dos Santos and you know what we get from this guy. He's a Capoeiro striker. You know, he's going to have a lot of power early. He's going to throw everything with 100% power. He will have the strength. The power advantage here and the striking advantage here over Neil Magny. And one of the best weapons probably for Dos Santos is going to be those leg kicks. And as we know, Andy, there's nothing that Neil Magny hates more than leg kicks. And he's a guy that doesn't know how to check them. I don't think he cares to check them. He's got these long legs. It's a huge target. So it is something that Dos Santos can look to work towards if he can get inside that range. But one of the biggest real weapons here for Neil Magny is his cardio. He can weaponize that cardio. He's going to move forward. He's going to stay in your face. And also not on top of that is the fact that we have seen Dos Santos, he can slow down. You know, he's a guy that doesn't really support that type of gas tank overall. And the fact that if he can kind of move forward and he finds ways in Neil Magny to get this up against the cage, he's very good pushing up against the fence, cage pushing, getting him up, working. And that can really start to slow things down for Dos Santos. Also, you add in that the clinch. You know, I think in the clinch, he's going to do very well, work the elbows here, and you're going to see him slow down. This is going to be in the apex cage. I think that really, really favors Neil Magny and his game plan here, where it's a little bit shorter of a distance. We know it's 30% less than the larger cage. And I think there's just going to be not enough space really for Dos Santos to utilize a lot of the spinning shit that he likes to do and all these flashy things. Early he does it, then he starts to slow down. And then you add in also that Neil Magny is going to have the size advantage here. He's going to have a 7-inch reach advantage. He's going to have a 4-inch height advantage. It's not that Neil Magny is some great distance striker, but he is going to be able to use a front kick a little bit, utilize that jab a little bit, either keep Dos Santos all the way out and really struggling to cut that distance, or have him when he comes all the way in, he's able to utilize the clinch a little bit and really work on him. He's going to be the better wrestler between the two, and he's going to have the higher volumes. There's a lot of things, you know, that I do like about Magny. And to your point, Andy, also is since 2022, he's only losing to elite level guys. I mean, you go down, it's Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, Ian Gary, Shavkat. I mean, these guys are the future of the division here and future title challengers. And that's who Neil Magny's faced. Finally, he's facing a guy his age. I think he can capitalize on that. I think that the line is a little bit wider due to Magny continues to lose, but he has not fought anyone his age, as you were saying. So I do like Magny here. I think the plus money is the right side here in this spot.
I also think Magny's just going to have like cardio. Zaleski tends to fall apart here on this one. So if it gets out of the first round, I think Magny cruises in rounds 2 and 3. I'm with you on that one. All right, here's another potential. This guy may be the future in the division.
Yeah, right.
Kevin Vallejos versus Danny Silva. If you haven't watched the Vallejos fight, buckle up. Break down this fight for us.
Yes, you got Vallejos here. He is minus 400. The comeback, Danny Silva, is plus 310. Now, as you're saying, this is two guys I think the UFC likes, two rising prospects, 15-1 in Kevin Vallejos and 10-1 in Danny Silva here. And this is one of those ones I think if you can bet like fight of the night or any of those things, I think this is the spot where you could do that. I do think this is a spot where you could do that because I think that you're going to see total action here. But the one thing that you got to say here is that although this line is wide here, there is a lot to like about Silva. You know, Silva's guy's going to come forward. He's going to throw. He's going to stay in your face. He's going to push out a ton of volume. And he has good boxing. He can mix in some takedowns. So there are some things that he can do here to make it tough on Kevin, who he's young. You know, he's a rising prospect. Everyone really has pegged him as kind of the next big thing possible in that division. But with that being said, one of the biggest red flags on the Danny Silva side is the fact he's extremely hittable. I mean, this guy blocks punches with his face. He lands over 7 significant strikes per minute, which is very high, but he still has a negative striking differential. So he's still getting hit more than he is landing, yet his output is very high. Now, if you go down over the last few fights, I mean, one of the things that really sticks out are those stats. I mean, at Dana White's Contender Series against Angel Pacheco, who is not good, landed nearly 200 significant strikes on him in his UFC debut. Josh Kulabau, who I don't rate very high at all, he landed 87 significant strikes to Silva's 45. Yet Silva got the split decision. It was the takedowns that got him for him, but really, you know, Kulabau doesn't have power. You know, he's a guy that just pitter-patters the shots, has no power. And then lastly, most recently, you've got Lucas Almeida, who landed 74 significant strikes to Silva's 82. Both of them were split decision wins for Silva. And I just think if you are landing at that high of a clip, if Kevin Vallejos lands at that high of a clip, he's getting the knockout. I think that it's just going to materialize. You've got Silva, who's a guy who's willing, who's like a willing participant in the brawl, and he just is not defensively sound, not defensively aware. So I think he's got the bigger power. He's aggressive. He's going to come forward. And I think getting off the minus 400 number, you're getting us at roughly minus 110 for the knockout. I think that's a strong play. Out of his 15 victories, 11 come by knockout. I think that's what he gets the job done here and adds to that highlight reel profile for him.
I mean, blocks punches with his face is just the perfect description of Danny Silva. He just stands there and he does.
The volume is there. Yeah, the volume is there. It's like it's like if he just is a little bit more defensively sound, I think it helps him a lot, but he's got that tunnel vision, and I think that's going to cost him on Saturday.
Bad striking defense against a guy who hits like a tank. A bad recipe. Bad recipe. All right, we're going to do Sell Me, but real quick, tell everyone what you have up for clients at WagerTalk.
Yeah, so this weekend I have a 4% play up. We're coming off a nice 5% win off of Bryce Mitchell. Nice cash at minus 125. So we're going to rock and roll this weekend. Do have 3 plays up right now. 4%. We'll be adding to it, but we're ready to go here, and there's a nice stretch of events coming up, so I'm excited about it.
All right, let's do Sell Me. This is where Dan comes in, picks a random fight off the card, then he assigns one side to me, assigns the other side to Kyle, and we have to try and make the case for the fighter that we are assigned. All right, Dan, what is the fight, and who are the fighters that you're assigning to us?
Well, gentlemen, I wish this last fight you talked about would have been eligible for Sell Me, because if Kyle would have used blocks punches with his face, Kyle would have automatically won the debate. I mean, that was terrific out of our man.
Does it add a point on the judges' scorecards right now? Do I get a little extra on the scorecard? So I get like an early 10-9.
I cannot confirm nor deny the bias that may be coming into the Sell Me segment. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm an honest man. I'm not a fair man, as you see, but an honest one. Let's give some love to the ladies on the card here, gentlemen. I'm looking at this Ketlen, Souza, and Piera Rodriguez fight. We're looking at about 225 around that for the favorite here in Rodriguez, and Souza. The take back on her is around 185. So Kyle, why is Pereira going to make Souza block punches with her face and be the favorite over $2 that she deserves to be? Andy, you got to tell us how Souza might pull off this plus 185 plus chickens action. Kyle, you're up first. Why is Rodriguez the favorite, and is it fair here to be laying over $2?
Yeah, this is a spot where I think that Rodriguez really has a lot to like here. And obviously the line is indicating that, but really the path is going to be there for is the wrestling, is getting the wrestling going, is looking for the takedowns, getting that control time. She just recently landed 8 of 10 takedowns in her last fight, got that control time. And Souza, you know, she just doesn't have the gas to really, and the cardio to really go. She's like 0 to gassed in 60 seconds. I mean, she is one of those ones that just doesn't really keep going with it. She's going to be early. She's going to throw those big, heavy shots. She's going to have the power. I think she will have that advantage. But I do think that Rodriguez is going to be able to continually, you know, it may not be the sexiest way to get this victory for her, but I do think she can go out there, get takedowns, get control time, you know, and especially the fact that if Angela Hill was able to get 2 takedowns, the aged out Angela Hill able to get 2 takedowns on Souza, I think that Rodriguez can get, those will be free, I think, at a certain point there, but I don't think she gets the finish here. I do think that it will be by points, which is about minus 120 right now, but I do like Rodriguez here to get that job done.
Well, Andy, there's an opening. As he says, it might be by points that the win gets done. So a case to be made here for the dog, Mr. Lang.
What Kyle left out is that his fighter is a cheater. This is this woman
kind of makes me like her more.
That's a good thing.
Was disqualified.
You ain't cheating. You ain't trying, Andy.
For intentionally headbutting people. Dan, she headbutted her opponent. The ref said, "Don't do that." She looked at the ref and was like, "Hold my beer," and did it again. And he stopped the fight and disqualified her. She can't control her emotions. She certainly can't control her weapons if you're getting DQ'd in the UFC. A literal sport that is made on violence. You got DQ'd for being too violent. You can't, listen, Piera, it would be awesome to party with because she's unhinged. But as far as betting your hard-earned money, no way. I refuse to bet on a cheater.
Well, Kyle, the funny thing is, if roles were reversed and Andy had to make a case for the headbutter, he would have somehow explained why headbutting is a positive. So
absolutely, do what it takes. Win at all costs.
I could have flipped it.
So for that, a great job all around, guys. Comment below. What do you think in this Rodriguez and Souza fight? Who do you think is going to win? You think the favorite is justified? Great stuff as always, Kyle. It's nice to have you back, brother, and good luck this weekend, gentlemen.
All right, guys. I will see you next week.
Take it easy, Kyle.
Yeah, the headbutt, Andy. You know your ass would have used the headbutt as a positive. You know if it was the other.
I was absolutely
been
ready.
Like, how can I not bet on this girl? She headbutts people, right?
Absolutely.
This is a great. This is a great comment from Eric here. Andy, Johnny, Dan, Kyle, obviously. You guys have to do this segment more often. Come football season, we're going to be talking primetime games, things like that, where Andy's going to have a side. Maybe he'll go toe-to-toe with Teddy Covers. People have really liked it. Kyle comes proper with the UFC breakdowns, but this is a segment that we're going to continue into football season. So when you like hearing good cases for both sides, and when you're handicapping games, you should handicap both sides. This is a great way to do it. So yes, definitely more coming for sure.
All right, we're going to bring in Dave Mason, but make no mistake, we're going to bring up what's going on in the chat here. I see you guys talking about pizza rolls being dipped in ketchup and some other things.
Insane.
We're definitely, it's insanity. I will not put up.
It already has pizza sauce inside of it, Andy.
Why do you need another tomato?
It's insane.
Sauce? Let's bring in Dave Mason, where we will not be talking about pizza rolls being dipped in ketchup. Just absolute lunacy going on in the chat. Dave, how are you?
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. That's a no-go for me. Yeah, it's like down here in Costa Rica. They put mayonnaise on. They put mayonnaise on everything. It's French fries and mayonnaise. It drives me absolutely bonkers. But no, ketchup on pizza. It's just no. You have the tomato sauce. Like, it's there already. It's like then you're gonna like put ghetto tomato sauce on top of it. Get the hell out of here. You know what I mean?
Not to divert the conversation, Andy, because I know we have important things to get into with Dave Mason here. But I will say, when I lived in Ecuador, I studied abroad in Ecuador for a while. Same thing. It's just like a thing that they do, mayonnaise on everything. And my host brother, who I was living with, he said, "Let me make you my special pasta." It was spaghetti noodles with sliced up hot dogs in it and mayonnaise as the sauce. So you could do worse than ketchup with pizza rolls.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, ghetto tomato sauce is about as good as it gets, Dave. But let's talk some actionable info here. How's the handle on the Hall of Fame game tonight?
Good, man. It's coming in. Be the biggest bet. Football's always king, right? We'll be doing more of that on the Hall of Fame game tonight than any MLB game or anything else on the betting board. Most likely, it's what about 58% of the cash is on the Chargers. There's two-way sharp action all over the place. It just went back out to Lions -2 after it was -1 a little bit earlier this morning, just about an hour ago. So it's up to -2. But NFL preseason gets great action, nothing like the regular season, and a lot of that is just such sharp, dominated action too. I mean, I checked about a half hour ago, like 59% of the money so far on tonight's game is from sharper accounts that we have labeled as always show. So there's definitely it's not proportionate from sharps to recreational guys tonight.
Baseball, any interesting sharp action you can tell us about? It's a limited slate, probably because there's an NFL game tonight. What are you seeing?
A little bit. Some Reds -168 and -155. Seattle -156. Under 9 in the Yankees game. That's about it. A little bit here and there, but that's some of the bigger stuff.
We mentioned the Braves earlier. Are you seeing the public just blindly fading the Atlanta Braves at this point?
Yeah, I mean, bettors go. Bettors go on the bet on streaks too. So absolutely, we definitely see that trend. Let's see what we got tonight. Let me have it checked. Yes, we need the Braves tonight. So far, I mean, a lot of actions yet to come in, but right now we definitely need the Braves on both the run line and the money line.
What about NFL futures? Dan and I have been breaking down. We're almost done with all of the teams. Any one-sided action on a particular team that you've seen?
Which NFL future do you want to talk about?
Season win totals. Season win totals.
Let me bring that up real quick. Just looking at the other day, but all this stuff changes so much. Regular season wins. Who do we need here? We had big losses on, let's see, over 8.5 for the Patriots. That's our biggest loss right now. Who else? Over 8.5 for the Steelers. Over 9.5 for the Chargers. Yes, I'm saying all overs. That's what people bet on these. There's like a game that they bet over. I looked the other day. I forget what it was, but I think more bets on the under and only like 6 of the 32 teams or so.
Wow. Well, count me in on the under on the Giants and the Browns. You could lock me in on those couple ones. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit UFC. This is not a great card. How does the handle on a UFC card of this caliber or lack of compare to one of the big pay-per-views?
I mean, every UFC card gets great action with us.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, there's levels to it too, right? It's not going to compare nowhere close to in a big name event, right? So it'll take a little bit of a hit. You know, we'll probably do about 65 to 75% of the action we would normally do. The bet count will be down a lot more, but the money, the volume, we take such big wise action on UFC that boosts it up. You know, that we're still getting a ton of volume on these fights. Again, there's two things, right? There's bet count tickets, and then there's money volume. So the volume will take a bit of a hit, but the bet tickets will definitely take more of a hit on a weak card like this weekend. But it'll still be a big bet event. I mean, our UFC action is absolutely through the roof. Some sharp stuff already. What do I got here? Tassara minus 315 or better. Bashi minus 440. But not a lot of sharp action yet. I just listened to you guys' breakdown of Magny, and I'm going to bet him a little bit like your breakdown of Magny. So I'm on it. But we have him at plus 170. We have him plus 170, so a little extra value with us.
Love it. Love it. All right. Me and Dan are definitely going to do the Survivor pool on BetOnline. Do you prefer Survivor, or do you prefer the spread, like where you got to pick 5 of them each week? What's your favorite one? I'm a Survivor guy myself. I just want to pick one game.
I do both. I'm doing both, but Survivor is, you know, I definitely prefer Survivor. I don't know. The older I get, my mind gets more simple, and it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'm picking one winner this week, not 5, and you know, I like both, but gun to head, if I can only choose one, I'm going Survivor.
All right. Tell everyone about the Survivor, because Dan and I are going to be locked in for the regular season for this one for sure.
2 Survivor contests. The big one is the traditional Survivor contest. $1 million in guaranteed cash is up for grabs. We doubled that from last year. It's $500,000 guaranteed last year, but we ended up going right around $600,000. We don't have an overlay, so we're going for it this year. If there's an overlay, there could be an overlay. If not, if we get that $1 million, then we'll add on anything else to that. As little as $30 to enter. $30 gets a one entry fee. You can enter numerous times for a discount. Early bird special now: buy 3, get 1 free. Yeah, man. And again, every dollar we collect goes into the pool, and there's a good chance there could be an overlay. So get on over to betonline.ag and visit our contest page.
Yeah, if you guys want to do it with us, me and Dan are going to do the BetOnline, so absolutely join us. I love Survivor Pool. So, Dave, tell everyone where we can find you at, and tell us a little bit about BetOnline. At
Dave Mason, well, on Twitter, X. Yeah, betonline.ag. Football season's here. Once again, we're going to have some of the earliest openers all season long. If you're a sharp bettor, you get limited at the competition. Take your action. We take all sharp NFL action, football action, college football, whatever. So get on over to betonline.ag this season. We have high limit and rebet functionality too. Or I think there's only 2 books that allow it. You can rebet the limit every 60 seconds, where lines move whenever the odds move over and over and over again. So technically, there really aren't any limits.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, and I've seen you repost some of those bets on social media. So Dave Mason's always a great follow on social media, and BetOnline, one of the best books that's out there, if not the best. So thanks for joining us, Dave. And NFL season is here. Can't wait to talk Survivor and NFL throughout the season. Thanks for joining us. All right, Dan, get in here. We have a lot of we have some things to discuss. This pizza roll, and Johnny Detroit apparently is a big fan of pizza with ketchup. I've never heard of that. We do have some good ones in here. Some comments about what would the food truck name be, and somebody said Wager Guac, which is just an absolutely fantastic name of a food truck. But you said, everyone post in the comments section, what's your weirdest combo? I'm trying to think what my weirdest food combo.
Oh, I know mine right off the top of my head, dude. For me, the after school snack, I think I talked about it before, was Cheetos and s'mores Pop-Tarts. Cheetos and s'mores Pop-Tarts went together like a fine wine and a lovely pasta. So yeah, that if it was a weird food combo, you got to comment below after the video. Let us know what are some of the strangest food combos you rock with. But mine was Cheetos paired with some s'mores Pop-Tarts. And Andy, I would wash that down with some nice crisp 2% milk. So how about
I just figured out mine. In college, we were broke. Obviously, how times have changed. So we would do beef ramen noodles, and we'd pour steak sauce in it to spice it up.
That actually sounds pretty good.
It wasn't. It wasn't very good, but we did it anyway. We were like, it's like steaks. We'll put steak sauce in it. Nothing goes better with ramen noodles than this globby steak sauce. So yeah, leave in the comments what's an odd food combo that you've had. Eric, mixed beef stew and clam chowder with crunched up chips.
Beef stew. You can't hear beef stew without thinking of like what's that? The bench warmers where the dudes rip farts in their mouth. They call it, here's some beef stew for you. That's I can never eat beef stew. I can't do it.
I get it. Yeah. Now thank you. I'll never be able to eat beef stew ever again.
Yeah, well, I saved
Jay. Jay's got a good one. Toast, peanut butter, bologna, and onion. Wow.
You actually had me until the onion. You had me until the onion because like a nice little sweetness from the peanut butter, a nice little cream, this saltiness of the bologna. You know, you got the nice crunch of the toast. And then you threw onion in there. You had me until the
onion. Craig likes sardines and ice cream. Little salt with the sweet. All right,
holy God, that's not salt with the sweet. That's just ugh.
It's fish with the sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk.
You don't mix dairy with fish. You don't mix dairy with fish, Andy.
Well, let's talk Hall of Fame game here. I actually found a prop that I absolutely love, and you said you found one that you really like. I'll let you go first. What's the play that you like in the Hall of Fame game tonight?
Yeah, the one. So there's a lot of folks, and you've seen the over push up. So scoring is expected. You heard Gianni talk about it, kind of atypical to what you expect in the Hall of Fame game. So why would I want to be chasing the steam on betting the over? Maybe you find a way to attack the over if that's the way that you think this game will go at a maybe plus money price. This isn't anything I'm pulling the rubber band off for, Andy, but what do we know about the Chargers? We talked about them with the season win total yesterday and how they're a team who likes to ground and pound. And that's not just the starting offense. That's top to bottom, what they do systematically with that offense. So running is going to be a huge part of this game. And if we think there's points going to be scored, a prop that I saw that I thought was a little bit crazy on the pricing, it was near 3-1 for the Chargers to get into the end zone twice via the ground. 2 rushing touchdowns for the Chargers, anywhere from around plus 280 to plus 300 is the price there. I think that, the new defensive coordinator for the Lions is probably why a lot of these sharps are in on this over. Also, Harbaugh's a guy who, much like his brother, loves the preseason. I think he has a positive record in the preseason. I think he's around like 10-6, something like that during his NFL tenure. So he's a guy who isn't just going to roll over. He's going to have his players try. And these running backs are also looking to say, I want to be paired with Najee Harris. I want to be a part of this running back by committee that's going to be a huge feature for this Chargers offense. Let's start it off. If everybody's chasing steam on the over, give me some plus money action. Chargers to get in the end zone twice via the ground, rushing touchdowns, 2 or more of them for the Chargers, plus 280 or higher. I think that's worth a flyer.
Okay. You and I did not talk about this. My prop is the Chargers to rush for 100+ rushing yards at minus 165.
I love this. I love this. And what's the price on that? Go ahead.
It's minus 165. This should be minus 300. This is like you said, this is going to be a running attack. Trey Lance is starting, and Harbaugh's always said he's going to play well into the third quarter. So I went and looked at the Chargers under Harbaugh. Their last 2 preseason games last season with Harbaugh as a coach easily rushed for over 100 yards. They even had a 70-yard rush in one of the games. I went and looked at Trey Lance. He played 3 games in the preseason for Dallas. He was the leading rusher in all 3 games. He rushed 24 times total in those 3 games. They're going to be running the ball. And we know what this Chargers team wants to be in the regular season. They want to be a running team. They're going to be working on their offensive line schemes. Detroit's going to be putting a new defensive scheme in there with their new defensive coordinator. I think they're going to be a little bit rusty. Dan and I are all in on the Chargers rushing attack. 100-plus rushing yards, a couple of rushing touchdowns. Those are your props for the Hall of Fame game.
I love it.
I love this.
Let's go.
Great.
I like it when we independently come up with different ways to skin the cat here. So yeah, I like it. Maybe even, who knows? If you're so inclined, SGP it. Have a fun time.
Yes.
But bet
Absolutely.
responsibly. This is the Hall of Fame game. Don't go crazy. I mean, Andy, this is how I know football season is here, is we have over 1,200 people watching us live right now. And that's how you know football season is here. You know, when MLB season is around, 500, 600 live viewers, it's a good show. We have one game to talk about, and it's not even going to be a real football game. You know what I mean? And we got almost 1,300 people watching. So while you're hanging out, hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. And let's get the rushing attack going here for the Chargers, Andy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We mentioned it yesterday. Mondays during football season is going to be the most important day to watch this show because we're going to talk about the opening numbers and we're going to talk about where the lines are moving. If you're betting money lines, you're betting spreads. Mondays is going to be where it's at. We will, of course, talk Monday Night Football, but you want the best of the lines and the best of the information. We got to get it started on Monday. So that's going to do it for us. Again, Cricket Best Bet is up. That goes off at 5 o'clock Eastern tonight. Go grab that. Cricket department has been absolutely on fire. 61% lifetime winners in cricket. We're very low volume. We only pick the best of the best spots. This is going to be our only play this week. So you don't have to watch the cricket game. We will watch it for you. All you need to do is check the bank account at the end and get that cash. Friday is tomorrow. We're going to get you set for the weekend, so make sure you join us here, same time, same place. Football season is here, guys. Good luck on all your bets.